Hello, I'm really happy to welcome you, Gerald, at this session about lean in utilities. You're from Veolia Water and you will be our speaker during the next 30 minutes.
Hello, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm Gérald Saboureau. I'm Lean Director at Veolia Water France. And today, I'll be taking you through a 3 years retrospective of our journey to build a robust lean culture within the organization. This presentation is structured into 4 main parts. We'll start with the context that led us to this transformation, followed by the actions we've implemented, the result achieved to date, and finally, our key learnings and next steps for the future. Let's dive into the context to understand the scope and the challenges we faced at the beginning of this journey. To begin, let's quickly set the scene with some key figures on Veolia. We are a world leader present in 56 countries across 5 continents, employing 215,000 people worldwide and generating over 44 billion euro in revenue. Our operations are organized into geographical zones and then by country. As you know, Veolia provides a wide and vital range of services to both local authorities and the population and industrial stakeholders. However, the specifics of these varied services are not our primary focus today, but you can flash the QR code if you want to learn more about Veolia job. These services can be classified into 3 main businesses: waste, energy, and water. As you can see, the scale of our operations is massive, from supplying water to 111 million people, to managing 65 million metric tons of treated waste and operating over 49,000 thermal installations. Focusing specifically on the water business in France, the original birthplace of the Compagnie Générale des Eaux, 170 years ago, we have 13,000 employees organized across 10 regions. These regions are then subdivided into 65 territories and 550 local services, with local teams delivering value directly to the customers. And these customers are diverse. We offer our services to industrial companies through services contracts, such as process water production and industrial wastewater treatment, or through specific work orders. We also manage public drinking water and collective sanitation services on behalf of local authorities under delegation contracts or services agreements, with the end users of these public services being our ultimate clients. A key point in our business is that we do not own the majority of the production assets required to provide services to our clients. The drinking water production plant, distribution or collection networks, and wastewater treatment plants are typically owned by our clients. While these facilities are made available to us for operation and maintenance, any investment project necessitates negotiation with the contracting client. And of course, we must not forget that our colleagues from other departments, particularly when you work, like me, in a support service, are also internal clients. For instance, the Lean Department, the Lean Department's direct clients are the territories, the local services, and their respective teams. This slide illustrates our organizational structure. And at the national and regional levels, we have various support services, from human resources to finance to legal. And below that, the territories serve as our profit centers, responsible for contract executions, and all the way down to the local services and the team on the field delivering the value for the customers. As you can see, the organizational structure is very short, with a chain of command consisting of only 4 levels, from the team members up to the CIO. This structure ensures that our company remains highly operational. It is important to note that all our regions are organized using the same pattern. Only their size may vary, ranging from 800 to 1,500 employees. If we take a look at my region, the Eastern region, it presents a significant operational challenge, delivering drinking water over 1.6 million inhabitants, with a workforce of 1,000 employees scattered across a vast 74,000 square kilometers area. While taking into account that there are many different and sometimes highly specialized types of employment within Veolia, ranging from wastewater treatment plant operators and process engineers to electromechanics and vacuum truck drivers, not to mention management controllers and IT technicians. There are nearly 250 distinct roles in total. This considerable scale and complexity demand an extremely efficient and effective operating model and great autonomy for our employees. After this brief introduction to the structure of Veolia, which aims to provide context for the transformation challenges within our organization, let us examine the reasons behind the initiation of a lean approach at Veolia Water France. We face 2 urgent challenges. First, an ecological emergency. Climate change is disrupting the stable water cycle, requiring the local authorities to adapt their outdated infrastructure and their relationship with water. The second, an economic emergency. Operating in a mature market with declining water consumption is placing a significant strain on our traditional business model, which is fundamentally based on payment per cubic meter. When our CIO, Pierre Ribot, arrived in 2021, he challenged us on 3 key points. What truly drives improvement in our company? How do we put our expertise and craft back into our discussions? And finally, how do we shift from a static management model to a more dynamic model where teams are actors of change? So, our executive committee looked into it and chose the lean approach for several reasons. The first one is because lean is a proven approach. Many companies have successfully implemented it. Then it's a structured and well-equipped concrete approach that allows everyone to get started quickly. And it's an approach that fits the DNA of our company. A decentralized culture, field work, autonomy, a culture based on people and their expertise, their energy. And this is the bet of lean as we want to implement it. We want to give ourselves the means to achieve a sustainable performance by developing our employees. Now, let's look at the concrete actions we took to implement this vision. The initial 2 years were focused on laying a solid foundation. In 2022, we ran tests on pilot services, selecting and training a lean project manager in each region in France. In 2023 was about structuring the program, forming the lean team at the headquarters and in the regions, and creating the lean academy with our Opera partners. We focused on implementing essential tools like Gemba as a catalyst, visual management as a compass, and structured problem solving as the engine of improvement. The years 24 and 25 are dedicated to acceleration and focusing on efficiency. The Academy continues its pace, onboarding managers, The 4 key objectives for 25 are: teams achieve their success in their daily activities through rituals and visual management. Teams resolve daily issues with tools like Kaizen. Managers go to the field for Gemba walks. And managers address complex problems using A3 and PDCA formalizations. This is where we concentrate our efforts, get leaders on board, and promote initial results. Our transformation follows a logical progression, starting with the foundation and moving towards high-level performance. First, to improve safety and working conditions. Then doing it right the first time, which enables us to accelerate the value delivered to the customer and ultimately to reduce costs. It is very important to do things in this order because we all know what can happen when one tries to skip steps on the staircase. Let's move on to the tangible results we've seen from these actions. Regarding the Lean Academy, in the 2023 and 24 cohort, 35% of the 346 enrolled managers obtained their green belt. However, it takes almost a year to complete the program, with 14% discontinuing. Yes, 345 days is far too long, and furthermore, the green belt certification is not mandatory. This is why, since this year, we have been testing a shorter and less demanding format. We are seeing real traction in the field. Over 50% of our target teams are engaged in the first step, the daily ritual involving visual management and red bin reporting. This is helping teams better visualize the daily success and contract stakes. Furthermore, approximately 1/3 of the teams are already engaged in the second step, a weekly Kaizen. In this era where technology is omnipresent, we observe that reporting dashboards, emails, smartphones, and all of the tools intended to help us organize and optimize the work of our teams are not as valuable as the insights gained from discussions with team members at their workplace. Consequently, our managers have now resumed the practice of going into the field to reconnect with the realities of work. The national lean teams have supported managers for more than 300 Gemba walks. Importantly, more and more managers are conducting these walks independently. For example, in the East region, my region, more than 100 Gemba walks were conducted in 25 by managers. Furthermore, all of our executive committees, both France and regional, have now their own OBEA. Thus, the North Star of Veolia is articulated from the general management down to the local services, ensuring the alignment of strategic objectives at every organizational level. The nature of discussions within our national and regional executive committees is changing, and the work still is in progress for the territories. In 2025, 165 A3 or PDCA have been completed by managers in France. We are relying on this to share insights and reasoning and disseminate the best practices. Here are some concrete improvements achieved through problem solving in the Eastern region. For example, within one of the hydro cleaning services in the region, the implementation of a product mix has improved team efficiency in 2024, resulting in a reduction of subcontracting costs by nearly 96%. We are re-internalizing the job. The implementation of a daily monitoring of the leak repair teams through visual management along with the establishment of a standardized prioritization protocol for repairing leaks, enable 13 increase in network efficiency within 8 months. Another example, acceleration of mass billing speed by 9 days from 30 to 21 days, resulting in a substantial improvement in free cash flow. Reduction of completion times for new potable water connection works for the services supported in the lean approach. And for the last one of our customer services, in one of our customer services, there has been a 27% reduction in the stock of consumption situation without a subscription, from 700 to 500. While these results are quite excellent, we also need to be self-critical and focus on our key learnings and the next steps for sustainable success. We've achieved excellent operational results, but we still see some energy loss we need to address. The root of the problems often lies in 3 areas. Insufficient overall coordination. We must all pull in the same direction. We sometimes deploy unsuitable tools for a specific job. The A3 is not the alpha and omega of the tools. And neglecting proper situation analysis before starting a project is sometimes a real pain. We have to be very aware of the starting situation in some services. Looking forward, we must answer 2 key critical questions. How do we keep up the pace over time and ensure teams sustain their momentum after initial push? And how do we accelerate by refocusing ourselves on the right topics, much like a figure skater bring their arms in to increase rotational speed? Lean has the advantage of addressing the 2 challenges I mentioned earlier. In the long term, the climate emergency, by developing the ability to listen to our clients and work on our professions and processes to adapt to their expectations, we will all grow thanks to Lean. That's how we will create tomorrow's champion of the ecological transition and renew, win, and succeed in our new contracts. In the short term, the economic urgency, because together we will find better ways to operate, and we have many examples showing that every time we focus on our processes and practices, we gain. Before we move to questions, here is my contact information. For although if the journey is not always a pleasure cruise, each crew member contributes through their actions to navigating obstacles, reaching our destination under the best possible conditions. So come aboard the Lean boat. We are expecting you. I am now happy to take any question you may have about our journey. I don't hear you, Marie-Pierre.
Yes, I was in mute. Thank you very much, Gerald, for your presentation. Water management will be really critical for all of us in the next years, since we are facing climate change. So if Lean can help, please continue to share and let's everybody embrace Lean. I'm looking for the question. So I have one first question, which is not about climate, but can you give us some feedback from your employees regarding Lean. How do they react? What are their questions?
When we start the Lean project in our services, local services and teams, it was something very new, and Lean management was misunderstood. But in this region in France, people are very respectful of the rules, and they go on and say, "Oh, well, we'll see what it will bring to us." After a few months, their feeling has changed. They we tried to first solve problems for the teams, and one of the most important problem was communication between member teams and their manager, and it's the first real gain teams had from the Lean project, a real communication between team members and a real objective. There were part of the objective for the contracts for clients, and sometimes team members didn't even know why they were doing their jobs. It gives sense to people, and then people are most willing to go in this project because they understand why we are doing Lean project.
Thank you for your answer. And this is interesting because one side of the Lean is the management way from Lean, and the other side are the tools. So sometimes people focus more on tools, and what you said is a way to recreate link between employees and management and to share the same goal. So yes,
Yeah.
it's very, very important.
We try to attack from the field by the tools, and from the managers with the Toyota way, the spirit between Lean and the tools, because if you want to be efficient, you have to apply more than tools, and you have to explain why, you have to show respect, you have to challenge, it's very important to attack by the both sides of the organization.
I have another question. What would be your best 3 advices to someone launching a Lean initiative?
The first one is to have the managers with you. If the manager don't validate the project, nothing will move. It's impossible. The team members will say, if my manager doesn't mind, why should I make effort for this project? Managers are very important. The second one is to make it step by step. It's quite impossible to make huge improvements in a short amount of time. You must, I don't know how to say in English, but les petits ruisseaux font des grandes rivières. Go step by step, small steps by small steps, and then the success will come over time. And the third one is to focus the deployment on the teams that are willing to work with you or hesitant. Do not waste your time with opponents. It's you will be tired of the fight, and sometimes some people can't be brought back to your side. It's impossible sometimes.
Okay, so three advices. The first one, onboard your managers first in order that they are able to support your team members and engage them. The second one is don't try to have a huge change from the beginning. Go step by step and see visible but smaller maybe impacts, but step by step you will get the whole. And third, focus on you. The people who are supporting you and not on your opponents at the beginning. Okay. If you're ready, I have another question.
Yeah.
So you say that one of your focus was on your customer and their satisfactions. Do you have an example to share about the impact of Lean on this customer satisfaction?
There are a lot of surveys at Veolia, national, regional, very local, a lot of surveys. But one of the best way to measure our satisfaction, the client satisfaction, is the respect of the contract.
Yes.
Contract is what they want. So if you respect the contract, you have already done a great step onto the client satisfaction. By implementing Lean tools, we ensure that the contracts are fully respected. It brings the client satisfaction, of course, but it secures also the economical balance of the contracts, because if you're not respectful of the contracts, you may have a lot of penalties and a lot of risk of losing a lot of money by the unsatisfaction of the clients. So we focus a lot at the first time by visual management in teams. When I say teams must achieve their daily work, it's for respecting the contracts and then bring satisfaction to the clients. Every team where we are developing Lean management is one of the first action is to have visual management in order to respect the contracts.
Okay, so you are linking, as you said, visual management to your responsibility and the contract you have with the places you are operating, and this is improving with clarity. This is improving the way you are respecting the contract. So I got the point about customer satisfaction.
Yes, but as we have several types of customers,
yes,
contract is not the only way. When when a team is working on a connection for drinking water in a house,
yes,
the customer is the owner of the house, the people who lived in. So we can't only get the satisfaction of this client by respecting the contract. It doesn't know. So of course surveys are in surveys are the aim of surveys about final customers is to have the feedback of the work on the field from our teams. It's important to act on this point too.
We have to stop, Gerald. I'm sorry, I have other
Thank you.
question. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you very much.
presentation. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.